Two Jack Bros! Two Jack Bros!
Thank you for coming back to Two Jack Bros, the only podcast that does what we do. Anthony, what do we do?
Oh no. We try to reach enlightenment while holding on to our sense of humor and not changing.
Exactly. We bring a guest on here. We run that guest through the process of enlightening themselves, the difficult, arduous process that we just watch on the side and laugh at.
Yeah.
And then we, along with the viewing audience, get to learn everything we can.
Become better people.
Vicariously through this process.
Through your pain, your experiences, your personal moments.
Maybe we shouldn't do an intro next time.
Wow, yeah.
It's terrifying.
I feel like you should have introed that to me before I agreed to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
When you
look,
tell people when you're just like, want to be on the podcast?
or we'll drop you off at a dive bar alone later. Straighten the rest of it out.
A lot of incentives to be on this podcast. Yeah, man. So how you been?
Good. It's nice to be here. Where do we start with the enlightenment?
Yeah.
I'm terrified, but
I
let's
know. Maybe
pull the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll just do a little banter first and then we'll intro. Right?
Yeah.
Because the whole point of me doing the intro so that I definitely said right away, we are sitting here with Brian Finnell. And I didn't even say that.
That was not a good intro.
That was not even part of the intro.
You're too intense for intros.
Why are they terrifying that nameless guy?
This is scare tactics.
Yeah.
Again,
You better reach your light, motherfucker.
oh, dude. It just turned into an episode of Scared Straight.
Yeah. Jumping jacks are definitely happening.
In my pocket. I'm like, all right, I guess so.
Yeah, you want to do my podcast? I mean, burpees.
You guys get me stoned right before doing this, too?
Man, all right, Brian Finnell, what is up? I'm so happy that you're here, man.
Yeah.
It's good to have you.
I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but hey, this is what we do here.
I feel like we've not really had a chance to interact before.
I
but
know.
You are the namesake of our son.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a special human already.
Absolutely. I feel like there's a connection there.
Yeah.
There always has been, but I think I've maybe met you in person once or twice.
Yeah.
Like once when you guys moved out of the apartment.
Yeah.
And then I think once maybe at Helium. I think we were out somewhere.
Maybe. I went out once.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah.
I was tough on us financially when she
like, whoa. He said, we had the agreement. You stay. You never.
Yeah, it's tough. We need a whole
always,
team for her to leave the house.
Yeah.
Always had to stay at home work order, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, that's the agreement we made. One of us always has to stay home.
Yeah, I'm at home during the day.
Never
She's at
seen
home
it
at night. Yeah. So,
If I see you guys out in the wild together, I'm like, what happened? Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Let me check in.
we got babysitters. We do a babysitter thing. We have a network now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a team.
You got a team?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, and a little entourage.
That's what I was thinking about recently when I went to my brother's house. As parents, you guys are just allowed to have a messy house. If you just show up at my house, they're like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's an in-between phase. Because it's like you're a bachelor, you're a single guy, you're living alone.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, it's kind of understandable. You know, we have kids. It's kind of like a couple, though. And you ever show up to a house?
Yeah, if it's just two people.
No kids.
Mess, like, ew.
No fucking
It's
pet.
gross.
One of you's got to be the clean ones. You got to.
Yeah.
This sucks. This relationship
There's a
sucks.
reason opposites
I
attract.
don't root for this love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, both of you can't be this sad. Come on.
Yeah. You're a dater. How's the dating life out there for you?
Oh, it's like cuffing season now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the fall season. That's where I do my best work.
Yeah.
As a bearded guy that wears flannels.
Yeah. This is where they come to you.
Yeah. I just got to be out there.
Yeah. This is the time
I'm
of the
not
year.
sweaty like in the summer.
Yeah.
I look better. Like, it's anything below 70 degrees, anything above 70 degrees, and I'm like, I'm not getting laid tonight. There's no way.
Yeah. This is the time of the year where all those hot women are like, well, maybe the Me Too movement was a little overblown. I mean, I just think
They need a cuddle. They didn't need a cuddle in summer. They were like, get away from me. Ew, you're gross.
Who doesn't like compliments? All right, Brian. So you ready? You ready to jump into this? Did we give you some time to banter after we terrified you?
I feel like you don't even need to say it again.
Yeah.
Just start with the question. Because you just reset it. You're like, all right, how do we get back to this?
Cool.
Once we get to the banter, then just ease it in.
Yeah. So everybody gets the same questions.
Okay.
Right? So the first question we like to start off with is, what situation or experience has given you the most information?
I get finding out I have a sister.
Do tell.
When I was like 20, I guess it was like 24, I got a message from this girl, and she's like, "I'm your sister," and I was like, I have some uncles that have some questionable, or had like put a kid up for adoption. I was like, I think you're looking for my cousins, and she's like, No, your father's Mike. I'm not this person.
Was your dad and mom together growing
Yeah,
up?
for a long time, never divorced. Even after that,
Ah.
it was just like we grew up with the good household, the nice household, like the kid friendly house.
Yeah.
Like my friends didn't have great family, like parents would spend the weekends there.
So nobody knew.
And, yeah,
like,
everybody was like,
nobody
"Oh, Mike and Linda, they're fine."
Yeah, and nobody was like, Mike, this makes sense for Mike. This was just out of the blue.
No, it was just like all
Whoa.
of a sudden it was like, "Oh, Dad has a kid on the side."
Wow. do you have other brothers and sisters that live with you in the
I had
in the
two. I have an
household?
older brother and a younger brother. I think my older brother had moved out by then, and and my younger brother lived home, and I was like 1 foot in the door, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here while this is going on.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a
So
pretty.
you all found out you had a sister.
I found out, and then like maybe 6 months later, my whole family found out.
You kept it secret.
I was like, I'm not gonna deliver
know.
this news to my mom.
I'm not
Like,
ruining.
This is,
It was like
this is
Oh,
his
wow.
cross of bear.
wait. So you found out, and then how many months later did the rest of the family find
Like
out?
6, I'd say 6.
Wait,
That's
did your dad
multiple
not know
holidays.
you knew?
I confronted him
He
about
saved
it.
holidays.
He did. He
Oh
did.
yeah.
That is that's a bomb to drop on.
No, I did confront him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it happened. Don't tell your mother." I was like, "I think she wants to tell mom though." So I was like, "She wants to meet the family."
How old was she?
Yeah,
She was like 20.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah, 2021.
Wow.
Yeah. And
she had never met her dad. When did she?
she knew my dad. She
Oh.
like knew
Yeah.
him her whole life.
Oh.
He was like kind of involved.
He had like a second family.
Man.
Wow.
So wait, do you blame her for all the vacations you didn't go on? Because he supported
no,
two
I think
families.
she blamed me for all the vacations she didn't go on.
Well, she had a dad.
Like, there
she
was
should
a-
consider that a
No,
vacation.
I had a dad too, but he was in my life.
Yeah.
He was partially in hers.
Like, would he come on the weekends? Like, did you start putting together, like, oh, remember that time Dad went on a business trip? He really went to see
No.
his other family?
They were like not even they were all in the same county. It was like 2 towns over. It was like,
like
you
in
wanted
your
a
mind, he
business.
was getting on an airplane.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't like
packing
dad's
a
taking a
suitcase.
wheel chips to Dad's going upstate again. I don't know.
yeah, he's like, Dad's going out to get donuts again.
The
Yeah,
ones,
what would he would just he
the
would
ones
just,
that take him a week to get.
So when he was not in the house and he was with this other family, was it like what
I
did you
guess
guys
he would
think?
just say he was at work. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. I don't know. But yeah, she was like when I met her, and I was like, I guess I should meet my sister. Here's the thing about having family members you didn't grow up with. Like, I don't have to like you.
Yeah.
It was like I'll try, but like this isn't like the love I have in my brothers. Like
Oh, for
we
sure.
grew up in
I've-
the same, you know.
I technically have a stepmom and like so I have a stepbrother and sister,
Yeah.
but like we don't know each other.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't- and she wanted that real bad. I was like, I'm sorry, you kind of suck. Like I don't.
Wow.
She told my mother. She's like, I want to tell your mom. I was like, maybe we don't do that. And then I was like, that's for our parents to handle. It's like, I'm not gonna deliver this crippling blow to my mother and just be like, hey, Dad cheated on you. He's got a second family. I don't know.
Yeah. Like,
Ease that one into the
like
conversation.
down the street, a second family.
Yeah.
Like how far away were they?
It's just like 2 towns over.
It's like
she
20
went to
minutes
school
away.
with a cousin of mine.
Yeah.
You guys were having
Like,
that "did you know"
legit.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like, did you know growing up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
She's like, I went to school with Johnny. I had a crush on him. I was like, that's weird.
yeah. All right, so if you had to distill the information that you got from that,
Yeah.
like what did you learn from that?
What do you mean by
That whole experience, like, so that is the experience that has given you the most. So when you say the most information, you're like, oh, that's a whole new fucking person. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
There's like
That's
a
fair.
second person, and then there's like,
Yeah, like if a person shows up, they're showing up with information.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an unending.
She
amount
had a lot of information.
at least
that you
20
didn't
years of
know.
it. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. And then going into the future, like that's
Yeah.
like we don't always think about how much information overload every person is in our life.
Yeah. And because she
And
gave you
gave
information.
me like it was some wild information.
Yeah, like
too
now
much
you have to
information.
handle it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. All right, cool. So all right. So now what we do is now we jump into this enlightenment process, right?
Mm-hmm.
And through this process, we're gonna open up each chakra from the bottom chakra up, and then you cool with that? Your chakra's good?
I'm never really sure what chakras are, but all right, let's do it.
Yeah. Anything you want to explain him real quick what chakras
they're
are?
energy centers throughout your body, and if they're open, it can allow energy to flow through you, so like you can connect to the higher energy levels.
Oh, is this where
In
we
the
become a
universe?
color? Is that thing?
Yeah, you're about to become a black. You're
Oh, hell
you're going to do the rest of this podcast in blackface. Starting now.
I'm actually less terrified now.
Yeah. So, Brian, how did you learn to overcome fear?
Just do it. You just go for it. Right? That's what I don't know.
You tell me.
You
So-
got to kind of face it and just do it.
Yeah. So, what is there? Is there a fear situation that comes to mind that you learned that?
Probably the first time I did stand up or when I was a fireman.
Yeah, they sound
the
equivalent.
The first time it was like, oh, I got to do this.
When did you start stand up?
When did I start stand up? I want to say 10 years, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the year.
Did you always know that? Like, were you as a kid? You're always drawn to it. You're like, one day I'm gonna do that, or like, how'd you get into it?
Oh yeah, I kind of was always drawn to it. My parents actually, so my family's very funny. Like they're just kind of nutty people. A lot of food fights and shit.
Yeah.
So-
Surprise daughters and shit.
Yeah, just secret daughters,
Good
food
time.
fights. You know, you got to break the tension. Sometimes we got a whole family somewhere else, a couple towns over.
After what he just told us, he's like, "Yeah, my family's zany. We have food fights."
Yes.
We're crazy.
Dude, did you listen to you? For the first
Hell yeah. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with that though. Fuck.
But yeah, how you got into stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, so I just liked it, and then I always like humor, and I was a very like be funny around, the kid who wants to make people laugh. So my parents, we always watched comedies. It was a big comedy family, and then they introduced me to. They showed me Bill Cosby. Actually, was the first stand-up I saw, and I was like, oh, that's cool. There's like no other characters involved.
Yeah, we're just gonna
He
move
just
over
he
here.
just
You just go ahead and
stand-up
go ahead
essentially.
and put Bill Cosby on the
That's
pedestal if you
great.
want to. No,
Look,
that's
I
your
know
that's
who
your
he
this
is.
is your episode.
I
You
know
want
what he
your
is.
episode.
I know what he is, but it was the first stand-up I saw. It was great. It was Bill Cosby himself.
Yeah.
Still can't. I always laugh at the dentist now.
It was as Bill Cosby as it could be.
Yeah, Bill Cosby himself. He raped
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I didn't see the show. My parents just left me at his house.
So being a fireman, like what was the fear situation involved with becoming
Yeah.
a fireman?
Oh, just like not knowing what it was going to be like going into a burning building.
You went into a burning building?
I was a fireman when I was like, yes.
I never knew that about you. I knew you were a fireman, but
I mean, that generally sells the rest of it. I've been in a burning building.
No, it does
Like,
not.
if you met a fireman, he was like, "No, I've never been in
Yes.
a burning building." You'd be like, "You're not a fireman."
Dude, you got to understand that. Like, we don't see that part. Like, I grew up with a firehouse.
It's in the name, fire.
So I grew up with a firehouse that had vending machines in it, right? So,
It's called a front. There's a vending machine front.
right? So yeah, so you would go in and we'd hang out at the firehouse like a decent amount. So I would see fat firemen not doing shit all day long. So
Oh, yeah.
for me, it was like, oh, this is one of these jobs where people just do nothing most of the time.
Yeah.
So I figured you could probably like finagle your way out of shit. So
No, you kind of look forward to it in a sense, the rush of it all.
so you equate doing stand up for the first time with going into a burning building for the first time?
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going to happen on either of those occasions.
Well, I get there's like
I know the
similarities.
I know the consequences are stronger, but it was
Yeah.
still that same build up.
Yeah, that's a wild thing how fear works that way.
It is because
Yeah.
I could see how it's very similar.
Like I've never.
It's like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, that's a wild. That's just a wild experience. So the first time you go into a burning building,
Yeah.
what? It's just
Well,
like
the first one's on training, so they just have hay bales but an actual house fire or building fire.
Wait, would they have hay bales? What
Well,
is
so
Can you finish
in
that?
like the training, okay, and when they do training, they have like they call it a burn building. So it's essentially just a cinder block building, no windows or doors, and then they have rooms
Yeah.
just like you would in a regular house, and stairs, and then they just put burning bales of hay in there, and they essentially close the doors so the smoke builds up, and then you have to go in and find the fire like you would in a house
I
fire.
bet I could find the fire.
It's over at the bay. It's not. Yeah,
Yeah. Follow the fire.
it's right there.
yeah,
All right.
So that was the first one essentially, but the first like house fire when it was just
yeah.
That has to
That
be way
was-
more terrifying because
no, because there's so much more adrenaline there.
yeah, but you're in a
Because the
controlled
stakes are
situation.
higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So because the stakes are higher, like now you're in a life or death situation. That was a training. That was a simulation. The concrete
Oh yeah,
building with the hay bales on fire,
Mm-hmm.
right? Absolute simulation. Also sounds kind of sick.
yeah. It was fun.
Have you ever rescued anybody from a fire?
No, never from a house fire.
Podcast over.
We did. I've gotten some like car accidents where we've cut them out. That was considered a rescue.
Yeah.
But I've never pulled anybody out of a burning building.
Like
Okay.
I know
thrown
people
a old
have.
lady
My
over your
father
shoulder?
had.
Oh yeah.
My father had. I think he had like 11 saves over his.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you deal with your first fire, you go in, fire everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Not
Do you
everywhere. It was in a room with smoke everywhere. So we had to
if
find.
there's a fire in a room, that fire to me is everywhere.
Yeah.
There's fire everywhere.
Is that in the other room?
With that candle over there, dude, it's everywhere.
So if you lit that, okay, oh, yeah.
yeah. So, okay, now you go in there, adrenaline's pumping, you probably black out. Do you remember any of the event?
I mean, yeah, the first one, but not after a couple. It's all kind of the same.
But so here's what I want to know. After that first time you went into a fire, you dealt with that situation, you leave that building. Are you the fucking man in your mind?
No, you're tired, man. It's exhausting work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like we get like a 4-alarm fire, and you're just working all night, just pulling. You're basically doing demolition work at one point or another.
Yeah.
And just carrying around heavy hose and tools. It's just exhausting.
Yeah, I would imagine I would just be screaming everything that I'm doing
Ooh.
just to make sure, you know. I got
We're in the saw right now.
saw. Who needs the saw? Who needs the saw? Somebody take the saw away from me. Yeah, that's wild. All right.
Is that stuff miserable in the summertime when it's like, or you're just like, I'm just sweaty and stinky? This is gross.
No, it's actually worse in the winter.
Huh.
The winter sucks because you're just in all that gear, but you're still working because you're just sweating your ass off. And then the first house fire I was I was still like a junior. I was still on probation, so I wasn't allowed to go in yet. But you essentially did all like the work outside.
Grow
Yeah.
up, city.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You just give me a flashback from being made fun of by the older guys from the program.
Yeah, what kind of how would they haze you? What kind of stuff would they say?
Oh, they would just fuck with you. It'd be like they'd give you your truck test where you'd have to like go through the truck and learn where all the tools are at.
Do they have
and how it works and everything. So they'd be like, where's the keys for the fire truck? Which is there's no keys. It's all button started.
Yeah.
So it's just like, get me the left-handed screwdriver. Those kind of, you ever heard?
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a left-handed screwdriver.
Yeah. So,
Bucket of steam, that shit.
is there a name for somebody that isn't allowed in the building yet? You know, like you know.
Yeah, it's like your probationary period. So you're allowed in the building. You're allowed on the tree. You just
Not the most creative bunch, firemen.
no.
I mean, all right. So, I'm sorry. What did you just ask?
No, I think you were like, this is what I want to know.
Yeah,
And then you got sidetracked.
I did get sidetracked.
You did it.
I want to know how they hazed you.
Oh. Well, right when I joined, they had stopped it, but at one point or another, apparently they had to do the naked mile, where you would run down State Road naked.
Man.
Yeah.
And would they
And
be
then they
behind
kind
you
of like
in the
I
fire
was
truck?
of
or
that. I was in that era. No, they were just
They just knew you did it.
yeah. They
They
had
were
to
too- they were
basically
too-
honor
run,
code. Yeah.
run out of the firehouse up and then back.
This is an honor system hazing.
Yeah, no.
Hey, did you haze
They
yourself
didn't,
last
like,
night?
They didn't like follow you, but they knew you did it because I think at one point you had to meet at the ramp. See, I didn't have to do it because it was like
Yeah.
right at that time. That time they were like, yeah, well, you can't really haze people anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when everything got gay.
Yeah,
remember
it was the
More
beginning
gay than
when they
running around
cut out
naked with a
good
bunch
old
of dudes.
American hazing.
All right, so I mean, I think that's a fear chakra unlocked. This motherfucker's
Yeah,
running into
yeah.
burning buildings and then doing stand up afterwards.
Yeah. Wait, are you not a fireman anymore?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't been in probably like 15 years. Yeah, about 15 years.
Okay. Why'd you stop?
Just didn't want to do it.
You lost the
I
thrill.
just,
You were
like-
just like, it's hot.
There's a lot of not fun experiences sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're just like meh, and it was volunteers. It was a bunch of fucking politics.
Yeah, stop
I was
trying
like, I
to
just
close this
wanna
man's
run
fear
in.
chakra. It's
Sorry,
open.
Sorry,
I was like, I
sorry.
was trying to do this thing. This looked cool,
Yeah,
and I was like in high school when I started. So it was like the other thing. It was the other option of, well, maybe I can do this as work.
Okay.
yeah. That's yeah. I mean, I don't think
It was like an internship to see if I'd liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. So again, fear chakra open. No matter how much Ansley tried to close your anus just now. That's by the way, that's the fear chakra is located in the anus.
In the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why it gets tightened up a little bit when you're?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to get that buddy flowing. How you feel? Loose asshole?
What's that?
Your asshole feel loose right now?
Now you mention it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm glad
good.
you asked those extra questions. You really left-hand screwdriver to open that.
Yeah.
All right. So this next segment is a segment called My Bad. And this is where you have an opportunity to give out an apology to any person, place, or thing, any noun that you might need to give an apology to, just to get your energy set back to neutral, get that negativity out of you, and now we're set back to neutral. My bad.
I think I was grumpy with my delivery driver earlier.
Yeah, you
My
wanna?
bad,
Can you
dude.
eat that mic a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Grumpy,
about
huh?
that, dude. I was hungry. And you also had my coffee, so there's that.
Wait, he was withholding your coffee?
We had
a hostage?
everything, and then it was just like, it was just late. And it was probably the restaurant. I don't know whose fault it was, but it wasn't a big deal. But I was still like, oh, fucking thanks. It's just like curmudgeonly about it as I answered the door.
You grumped the stranger?
Yeah, dude. I grump strangers. I'm a grump. I am a very. I have to tell people that see me in the morning, like, just give me an hour.
Yeah.
If I see you every day, I'm like, just give me. I'll say good morning to you, but I'm not going to mean it till at least 10 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we start at 8, I'm not going to like it to 10.
Well, I mean, were you wearing? Now here I am questioning the chakra here.
Yeah. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Because if you're
The
a grump,
apology was given.
If you're a grump, do you mean that apology to your delivery driver? Do you mean that apology?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a self-aware grump.
Okay.
I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, like, as it's happening, but I'm not going to tell you until after.
Wait, you do apologize to people sometimes?
Yeah. Hey, I was grumpy. Sorry about that. Hey, remember 2 hours ago when I was just still kind of not woke up? I was grumpy. Sorry about that.
You're not old enough to be grumpy yet. What are you
Absolutely.
doing, man?
That's a Finnell trait. We're all grumpy people.
Yeah, you're grumps. You're a
dude,
grumpy
grumps.
family.
A lot of just mumbling in the mornings at one another.
Yeah.
All right, leave him alone.
And then once you guys get your momentum going, that's when a food fight starts.
Yeah. Or second family.
Yeah.
He can close that deal being a grump, I'll tell you that much.
Just give me an hour.
Yeah,
Once I get my coffee, I can start a family.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. We'll call that an open chakra.
Yeah, yeah.
My bad, delivery driver.
I'm a grump.
Yeah, I did.
I'm a grump.
It's the Grump chakra. It's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to know. You need to know. All right. Brian Finnell.
Mm-hmm.
What situation or what can you remember? What experience had you the most disappointed in yourself, and how did you get past that disappointment?
I don't know. That's some real shit. What I was disappointed about myself most? Oh.
I mean, however you want to quantify that in your mind.
I don't know how to quantify that in my mind. I don't know what I'd be disappointed about myself most for. I don't hang on to disappointment.
Do you want to see my list?
Let's see it. You've known
Why
me
you're
long enough.
disappointed
What
in
have
me.
I done?
Whatever.
Yeah, let's do that. You've known me long enough. What have I ever done to disappoint
The
you?
roast of Brian Finnell.
Hold on. Tell me what I've done to disappoint you, and then I'll apologize to you. We'll just go back to that chakra.
Oh yeah, no, I've never disappointed me, man. You
Yeah.
gave my son a name. I
Hell yeah.
stole a name from your grumpy family.
Yeah, you didn't know?
Yeah. Maybe that explains his morning present.
Yeah, he does.
Really?
He's a grumpy morning guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't an apology. This is just like an exploration of like how one deals with the deepest disappointments.
I just kind of, I guess, I get disappointed, but I don't hold on to it. Once it's done, it's like, all right, well, that's fucking over. Don't do that again.
Yeah. Can you remember your first disappointment that you had to let go? Because that's a tough thing to do, because sometimes you feel like you're quitting on yourself if you let go of the idea of being disappointed, because people don't want to. Again, people hold on to disappointment a lot, in my opinion, to say,
None of those.
I don't want to be that way. And this is like, I'm showing that I don't want to be that way by how much I hold on to disappointment.
Oh.
Right. So can you remember the first time you were able to free yourself of holding on to disappointment? Or like what types of, or when I say the most disappointing yourself, do you have anything that comes to mind for that?
No, not really. I feel like, no.
Yeah, that one. No.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I'm disappointed because I have nothing to tell you that I'm disappointed in. I don't know. Honestly, I just let it go. Whatever it was, I've never been disappointed in myself. Maybe I don't know.
Well, let's figure out why the fuck not.
Yeah, can we break this down?
Yeah.
Maybe it's an issue I don't have. Maybe this is part of ADHD. Is that a symptom? Not caring.
Well, do you not have is there not large goals that you've you not tried to reach farther than your ability in life?
That's a great way to
I
answer that
am, but
question.
I don't think I'm finished doing it yet.
So you're not disappointed. You don't feel like you
I
failed. You don't feel
haven't
like
failed. I'm still striving to
But
do what I
what
want
about
to do.
as a kid growing up? You never failed at anything? You never attempted anything?
I
You
failed
never
a lot at
lost
school,
you never lost
but
a
I didn't
POG
fucking-
tournament?
Huh?
You never lost a POG tournament?
No, but it's terrible. Video games, that always sucked, but I just didn't care. Like my friends would play and be disappointed that I couldn't play video games well. It was just boring for me. I don't know what else to be disappointed in. As a kid, disappointment, I feel like there was never disappointment because of something that I did. If you were disappointed as a child, I think you're looking at somebody else.
Yeah. It's interesting too, but you were always
I've been disappointed in other people, but never in myself.
Yeah. You're also a plus size kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I feel like and I'm nothing against plus size
No,
kids.
dude, we're fat and useless. I get it.
Yeah, but you scaled down, like a lot. I knew a lot of plus size kids that were just like, I don't care, I don't give a fuck, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I care about all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Care a lot.
Yeah, but it was like, you know,
It's because we're too busy being disappointed that we're fat kids. Fat white kids, second most hated group in America. I'm starting a fat white kids group.
yeah. You never even had a phase that you look back on and you're like, nah, it was a little bit of an embarrassing phase. White people seem to go through a lot of phases.
Okay, I got a good disappointed in myself. Now, when I was a teenager, there's a lot of teenager disappointment when I was like, you probably shouldn't have done that to that person. That was rude. We had a kid that lived on down the street from my buddy, and he thought we were in a gang. And when he asked us if he could join the gang that we didn't have, we were like, of course. Of course you can. But you got to do shit. That was our hazing period. Yeah. Comes full circle. So we told this, I mean, he let us fight him.
You jumped him into a game?
Yeah, we jumped into a
you jumped him
non-existing
into
game.
the initiation of the
Yeah.
game?
And then we made him, I think this is a felony now. We made him take the vote for people signs off of lawns. We're like, wear that like a fucking sandwich board and like just go to the houses and knock on the door and we're like, we need you to sing and dance and tell them to vote for this person.
Okay.
A lot of that, a lot of throw shit at this house. But we just made him do wild shit because he thought he was going to get into a gang afterwards.
What happened on day 2 when he showed up for gang? I guess that's what you do, right? After
It was
you get
like a
jumped into
month
gang.
of gang stuff. Kidding me? We were mischievous children.
Was he
It was
like
just like, we're
enthusiastic
never-
the whole month? Like,
Dude,
I'm
he
going to
was
be in a
pumped.
gang?
He was pumped. I think he wanted to be in a gang for the same reason other people wanted to be a gang, because he wanted that friendship and family fucking.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up being friends with him after the
No,
month?
absolutely not. I think he moved.
Oh, man.
We saw him years later, and we didn't really we used to call him the Hawk.
Yeah.
Because as like a teenager, his face, he had an incredible hawk face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He had that look, like
Like
real
a bird?
boxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Down syndrome?
Yeah.
What a bird.
So we used to just call him.
Incredible Hulk looks like a bird
Oh.
to you?
I
used-
heard. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's watching like the Hawk and Dove show or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Teen Titans right now.
He thought he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So we used to just call him Hawk, and he thought it was cool, but we're like, we're never gonna call you Incredible Hawk because you're certainly not that.
Yeah.
Just like it was evil. And then when I saw him years later at a party and
Yeah, like
didn't
teardrop
recognize him.
tattoos. I'm
Yeah,
in a
oh,
gang
that.
now, guys.
He looked like a kid who was trying to find the gang. He was like, "Holy shit, you guys remember when we were in that gang?" We're like,
You want to finish that initiation or
Yeah,
anything? Or still trying to get in, guys. You guys still seem
"Steal this
cool.
guy's keg for us."
Yeah. Man. All right. That was a good.
Mm-hmm.
That was. Have you ever told that story before?
I think once on like some kind of show.
Okay.
Comedy. Not a podcast, live show.
Yeah.
If you saw that guy today, what would you say to him?
I'd try to be like, remember the handshake?
Dude, dogs for life. It's for life, dog.
Yeah, there's only one way out.
Sick. All right, cool. That's a chakra open. That almost was a fucking sealed shut chakra.
Yeah.
That was a
yeah.
Hail Mary chakra
Yeah.
right at the last second.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So Brian, what have you learned from grief?
I'm not great at it. Mine get extra grumpy when I'm grieving. So when I am upset, I just get the fuck up.
Imagine you just now with like a
I
grumpy
know.
meter,
I feel like what I've learned from grief is a lot of people don't know how to handle it. Some people just don't. They don't know how to handle being around somebody who's grieving. Or you
Yeah.
get the people that want to. You get the long huggers at a funeral. Do you ever have one of those? They're
Wait.
just like. You ever meet somebody who wants to pull it out of you? If you're at a funeral.
I mean, I wear my emotions on my sleeve everywhere for every occasion. Like I'll be in Olive Garden, and people are like,
Yeah.
"What is your deal?"
But there's always like when you're in that grieving process, like when I say funeral, when somebody passes away, there's always like the crying's initial, like the grief's initial, but there's points in the grief where you're just being a person. Like you just, like the funeral, if it's a family or member's funeral, you're in that funeral. You have to do all the handshakes and all that bullshit, right? So that's when people want to pull it out of you. But right now, you're probably out of that. Part of you has left that situation.
Yeah.
Like if you're anything like my family, we you take a Xanax for the funeral.
Yeah.
But they want to be the person that makes you break.
Yeah.
They hug you too long. They're like, it's okay. It'll be all right. And I'm like, I know. I just did this 30 times.
Yeah.
You're the last one on this line. Let's just get it over with. You're not breaking me right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm worried about something else right now.
Yeah. Is it so did you find it difficult to be your grumpy self through your grieving process?
Yes, because you want to be polite to other people that are also grieving in this time period. But I'm grumpy. So I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Were you able to find people to grump with through the process?
No, it's so much easier to grump alone.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes being a grump perfect. You could just,
Yeah. But what about, your grumpy brothers in...
They're grumpy in their own ways.
But you,
I think we all aware of her grumpiness, so we just I'll just stay away from him for a little bit.
yeah, I just...
A bunch of ogres grumping around the
Yeah.
house. Like, you guys
Just
all
like-
walk heavy.
like looking
you
at their
guys
My
all,
shoes.
mom
like-
looks at me and she's like, can you go talk to your brother? He's being a grump. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be a grump.
Of course he's being a grump.
I'm grumpier because his grump shit's getting involved in my grump time.
Yeah. That's yeah, I don't think I think you're probably the only person that I know who you're the closest I've ever been to grumps. Like a family of grumps.
Yeah.
Like this is
We're
my
fun
access.
people, but there's a couple hours during the day.
Yeah.
One of us is going to be grumpy.
Yeah.
Or all of us. You don't want to walk into the house at that point.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're patient with people grieving because of that process?
Yes. Yes, I can be. But also, yeah.
But also get
But
your
also,
shit
like, if
together.
I'm grieving too,
Yeah.
and I'm grumpy, a lot of selfishness when it comes to being grumpy sometimes.
Yeah. And do you have, and we don't have to go into detail, but is there a situation that you think of most with as far as dealing with that grief? Or that taught you that situation the most?
Repeat the question.
Like, so what grief experience did you most have to realize that people can't handle the way other people grieve?
Oh, I guess my father for sure.
Because he was kind of like in his community, he was a big man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well known.
Yeah, and at least one of his families, he was too.
Yeah.
At least one of us liked him.
Yeah.
He was a very involved person in the community, and
Did people know he was a grump? Was he known to be a grump?
people had some. I guess so.
People had an inkling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But he was also still very outgoing, funny person.
Mm-hmm.
Just helpful. Like I said, he saved 11 lives. I know that because all 11 of those people showed up at the funeral.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm.
What is that experience like?
Oh, it was a fireman's funeral, so it was a very big experience.
Yeah. But just meeting someone whose life your dad had saved. Did you meet these people before your dad passed?
No.
So your dad...
I knew that they existed. I think I might have
thanks
been
to your
there for
dad.
one of his... Yeah. I think I might have been there as a young kid for one of his, getting an award for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, you fucking saved this person's lives. And I might have met them there, but I was a kid.
So when you meet these people for the first time, what was that energy like? I mean, what is... Like, did you perk up and like, holy shit, this is like my dad did this.
It's a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you get 11 people together, that's a big group of people.
Really
Yeah.
come all at once. And some didn't even introduce her. One person did introduce herself. And it was intense.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit. She's like, yeah, I'd rather say my life. And I was like, oh, so cool, but there's a long line.
What was a more wild experience, or just like I don't even know. You can fucking quantify it however you want to, but which experience was more? Is what I'm asking is between finding out you had a sister or meeting someone whose life your dad saved.
I feel like finding out I had a sister because I had always known that my dad was the type of person that would save lives.
Yeah.
But not the type of person to have a second family. You're out here saving people and having families.
Making population
Where do you get
go
that time
up.
of day? That man worked like 3 jobs.
I'm all about the community.
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
Bucks County, Croydon, PA.
Okay.
It's
a little trashy town right outside of Philadelphia. It was the local paper referred to as Kensington with trees.
Yeah,
So
your dad's saying was, "It takes a man to start a village."
Yeah. and then protect it as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all right, so that was the heart chakra. We consider that open, and
Yes.
And that's going to be helpful to a lot of people listening. Do grieve your own way. You know, and give people the room to grieve their own way. And so the fifth chakra, the throat chakra. This is probably one of my favorites. What is the favorite lie you've ever told?
Favorite lie I've ever told?
And you get extra karmic points if you give us a lie that's currently in rotation.
Ooh. Favorite lie I've ever told.
Yeah, it was your most favorite yarn you've ever spun.
Man, I'm blanking, but there's some good ones in there. I know it.
Yeah, you blanked on disappointment too, but holy shit.
Yeah.
You hazed the dude for a month for an imaginary gang. And that almost slipped by
Amazing.
you. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I was disappointed about that, I guess.
Yeah. Turns out, I probably shouldn't have done that. Damn.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify. Like, do you want a good lie? The lie, you know, like the lie that was like, you know, like how, like what is
Famous best lie I've ever told.
well, not best, but just favorite. you know?
Favorite lie.
Because the best and the favorite are two different ones, right? Like the best one might be the one that you never get caught for. Like that's your best lie. That's technically your best lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the favorite lie tends to tickle you a little bit. Like,
so we lied on a friend and made him a dating account. So we made a dating account and put my friend's profile up and made him an amazing person. Just a genuinely great guy. Like, and anybody who messaged him, we'd write back and be real nice. And then one day, after a couple months of this, we gave his phone number out all on the same day. And he got all the text messages that day. So the lie was, my favorite lie was, lying to those people so I can fuck with my friend.
did he meet those people? Any of those people?
No, phone just blew up one day. And he's like, who were all these
With all these like
fucking
really
chicks?
kind,
Yeah.
like nice messages.
Just like all these chicks that want to meet me tonight. What the fuck is this?
And he didn't meet any of them?
No, he was married.
Oh. Okay.
Or engaged. I think
The
it was
plot
engaged.
thickens.
Engaged.
Now this is a good lie, Brian. Come on.
it was-
Come on.
His classic.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a good
How
Favorite
long?
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did that last? Did he
Oh,
ever find out that you guys did that?
Oh, yeah. We told him.
Yeah.
Eventually.
How did he handle reading a dating profile of a version of him that was, I'm guessing, better than him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
He was like Habitats for Humanity. He was doing all the charity work. Just a genuinely sweet guy.
Yeah.
Did he
Played
write the
played checkers with
ladies?
his grandmom on the weekend.
Did he write the ladies and tell them like explain the situation, or did he just let them keep texting and be like, "Where are
No,
you?
He
What
was
happened?"
Just blocking numbers, and then just like later we'd complain to. He's like, "Oh, these fucking people started texting me. T-Mobile's being weird."
Yeah. That could have been a really fun reverse catfish situation.
If he just started going back with them,
Well, he also ruined his relationship and his future.
Yeah.
with his
maybe he
family
just
with
ends
that
up with a
woman now.
second family. My
Yeah.
dad pulled it off for a while.
Exactly.
It sounds like a rom-com movie if like you did it to a single person. Like
Yeah.
Oh, you just set a dude up?
yeah, like all these dates and now he goes on all these dates with these ladies and eventually finds love.
You are such a chick.
Yeah. Eventually.
That's what you were asking the whole time. You're like, did he find love? But did he find love?
He goes to the bookstore every Sunday.
Yeah.
And we just tell chicks to meet him there.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You feel good about that?
Yeah.
That's a good lie.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's man, all right. Brian, now we're going up to the next guy. We just got done all the physical chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting into the metaphysical chakras, right? This is the third eye. We're talking third eye shit here.
Third Eye Blind?
Never heard of
90s band?
I went
What's
to
the-
their concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like
Yeah.
somebody who goes with concerts. Sydney doesn't.
I think you mean Three Blind Mice.
Yeah, Three Blind Mice? No, Third Eye Blind. Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
I know who Third Eye
You don't know
Blind
who Third is? Is that your favorite lie, you son of a bitch? He's like, that's my favorite lie to tell.
You just casually believed I was like, no, I think you mean Three Blind Mice.
Yeah.
He's probably that retarded. Yes. Yeah. Let me sing this song for him so I can stop him from being retarded.
You know what? I don't know why I believed you, because you probably would have said it more confidently if you was.
Yeah, Three Blind Mice. I think it'd be Three Blind Mice.
Yeah, knowing you well enough, I know you would argue that I was wrong.
Okay, so this is we're getting up into these higher plane chakras. So now, what is something that you used to see as separate, but now you see these things as the same?
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
I see
that
things-
question ain't gonna change. So
Slow it
so
down.
two things that you used to see as separate entities,
Mm-hmm.
but now as you get older and wiser, you're starting to realize they're actually the same thing. Two sides of the same coin. Might want to start calling this two sides of the same coin. I feel like that tends to help explain it a little
You
bit.
get this noise afterwards.
Right?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's because the other way to say it is
Yeah, if
so
you guys an intro
confusing.
music to this question,
Yeah.
it's got to be at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Two sides of the same coin.
I think that expression also, everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I'll come
I
up with
say it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
two
say that in a
sides of
sentence? I don't
the- Yeah. That's two sides of the same coin.
Okay, spell it. Fuck.
Or the other sentence is, you know what they say? It's two sides of the same coin.
Work ethic. It doesn't matter what the job you're doing, as long as you're working at it. Like skill set. Like when you want to get better with anything, there still have to be that repetitive. Even though it's a different skill you're learning,
Yeah.
you still have to learn it almost the same way.
You have to learn how to learn, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Which is actually a college course they gave me in community college. How to learn for college. I'm like, this is...
what did they
What
tell
do you
to be
expect me not to
organized?
fucking drop out of this now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me I need to learn how to be in college to learn? All right. Yeah, you've given up on me. I'm gonna go back to the body shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. So what did they teach you in that class?
Dude, I have no idea. I was just how to take notes. But it's like I gotta take notes on how to take notes. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
This is too meta of a class. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, work ethic. I mean, I get what you're saying. So what
I guess it's learning how to do a skill, but every skill is different. But at the same time, the learning aspect of it is the same.
Yeah. That's I mean, that's from the mind of a tinkerer. Like you do a lot of you
Oh,
do
yeah.
a surprising amount of shit with your hands.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's like I I used to be blown away by all the separate skills that you had, but like when you put it like that, it makes sense. Like you know how to do things.
Yeah.
So you just keep doing all these different things. That's a good answer.
It is a good answer.
Yeah.
It is a good answer. And I think like it makes me think about you said like everything you do is hard work. I think when you're younger and you look at jobs, you'll be like, "Oh, that job is really hard, but that job doesn't it's like more fun or something."
Yeah.
You know, like but it's like even those artistic jobs or whatever are still going to be just as much hard work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got one more question to go. So we're just gonna get this shoe polish so you can put the black face on.
Yes.
All right. So this last question it's a 2-part question. It sounds like a 3-part question. I know that, but it's a 2-part question. First part, one thing you can't give up and why. That's one fucking question, whether you like it or not. One thing you can't give up and why. And the second part of the question is, what would giving that up mean to you?
I guess stand up. I mean, I feel like every comic you've had on here has probably responded that way.
No.
No.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Only one other person has responded that way.
Who was? Who was that?
Brian Six.
Yeah.
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 It'd have to be stand up.
Yeah. So
I think without it, the dynamic of my life changes very much.
how so? What, you ain't getting pussy? Like, what's happening?
Oh, well, I mean, stand up does help me get pussy. It's my best selling point.
Wait, Grumpy's not up there?
It's like he's grumpy, but he's funny. So, yeah, it'd have to be stand up. That definitely changed the aspect. I would probably wouldn't live in the city. I would probably live out in the burbs, and I don't know what I would do at night. I don't know what my creative outlet would be.
I mean, it's funny that you say that because it seems like everything you do is like a creative outlet.
What are all
Yeah.
these? So, like, you're a car mechanic, or what are these other skills that you were talking about?
I'm a collision technician, so I
okay.
do mostly.
I feel like I insulted you. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I just like
actually.
with a mechanic, it's like it's wrenches and parts and knowing like the
Left-handed screwdrivers.
Yeah, being able to diagnose an engine problem,
Okay.
which I can do kind of,
Okay.
but it's mostly cosmetic. So
Okay.
it's not like figuring out what the problem is and putting a part on it. It's like, I know what the problem is. The fender's bent.
No.
I got to straighten that fender.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
there's metal work involved, some sculpting, paint work.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially, if you break down those things, I guess they're art. But I know when I look at that job, I look at it as in like, all right, what step do I take first? So it feels it's more mapped out in my head than it is physically just doing it. Where stand up, where it's like I'm just creating. It's like how do I make this joke apply? Like how do I make this tag work? How do I make a funny joke?
Mm-hmm.
And that involves more creativity because I'm not breaking it down in steps.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be robotic. It's still got to be pulled apart and put back together.
Okay.
Like when I fix a
Yeah.
car to the completion. When I write a joke, it's like a little bit here, a little bit there, then put all these pieces together.
And you don't feel like you see anywhere else that you could get that?
I guess, but I would have to go into just like restoration.
Serial killing?
Serial killing.
Sounds
That
very...
seems very robotic, though.
Yeah.
Stab them, hide the stuff, so on and so on.
You get creative with where you hide, how you hide.
Yeah, all right. I feel like I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna take the easy way out. Just throw it in a river or something. Like
Yeah.
murder weapons over there.
How about assisted serial killing, like doctor assisted serial
dude.
killing? I don't know how that would work. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're just he kills the person. Someone kills the person. You lean in and check the vitals. You did good. All right, you can get out of here.
I got it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. But that was it, man. How do you feel?
Butthole's still loose.
First of all, he came with a loose butthole.
Loose butthole.
We didn't do that. No, we did that. We did that.
I try to leave the house with a loose butthole.
Yeah.
No leaving. I I don't feel grumpy right now. That's a good sign.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious to find that out because typically when people finish this, they're like, "Wow, I feel really good. This is a really fun experience." You know, not again. I'm not saying fucking compliment.
It wasn't
us.
a fun experience for me.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is like they leave feeling more uplifted than they thought they were going to feel leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you've unburied some stories from me that I'm going to try to joke about.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
Okay. Do you have time to stick around for the Patreon?
yeah. Can I smoke a cig in between?
Let's see. Do we have? Yeah, of course.
Like, no, we're on a tight schedule.
Yeah. So we're gonna give Brian a second to smoke a cigarette, and we're gonna hop into the Patreon. Brian, do you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
Just follow my Instagram.
Which is
Be Finnell Comedy.
Yep, and we'll have all that description in the description. We'll have all that stuff in the description.
In the description.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on this journey of enlightening Brian Finnell and getting everything that we could from him. It was a very fun
Oh,
experience.
wait, I do have a show I can plug. I
yeah,
forgot I'm
yeah,
a part of a.
plug this show.
We're putting as little effort as possible into this show, which
Yeah.
may be a bad thing.
Oh yeah, come to Helium December 23rd, December 16th. December 16th and December 23rd. I'm saying in order.
Yeah, that's helpful. It's hard.
Nice. Mine's the Tin Can Bar. I'm running like a monthly show in Port Richmond.
Oh hell yeah!
It's 10-minute walk from my house. It's literally called The Bar Show.
Okay, what day is it?
It's the second Thursday of every month.
The second Thursday of every month. Go to the
First one is December 9th.
Hell yeah, December 9th, first one. And the Tin Can Bar?
Tin Can Bar.
The Tin Can Bar every fucking first Thursday?
Second Thursday.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm trying to log it because this is something I'm going to check out myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have you on.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take Friday nights off so we can just party back at my house afterwards. We get a poker
Yeah.
game in or something.
So come party at Brian Finnell's house
Yeah.
the second Thursday of every month.
It can get weird. There might be whippets. Who knows?
Yeah. Ainsley, you got anything you want to plug?
No, I don't.
Damn, dude. You know how many parties with whippets and?
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Two Jack Brothers. We really appreciate everything. Hop on over to the Patreon. Only $1 a month gets you all of our content, which is the other episode of the free episodes, which is a whole different set of questions. The opposite. It's a fun experience. We
The shadow
enlighten the
self.
shadow self
Yes.
in there. And you can also see the episode where we did a analysis and commentary of Ainsley's ADCC trial matches, which is a really fun experience and was a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Come check us out. Get over on that Patreon. Thank you so much for listening. We are out.